Welcome along to another episode of Park the Bus presented by FanDuel. It's a little different this week. We've headed out of Graham Leggett's and come downtown Toronto because, of course, it's the week the tournament begins. We wanted to be right in the heart of the city. We've come to St. John's Tavern downtown. Pretty nice
I love
stuff.
it. What
Beautiful
a
place,
nice
Kev.
place this. It
It's
really
a nice
is.
pub, rustic pub.
Rustic, is that how you describe it?
That's what I'm saying, rustic.
Kev just back from Montreal, having been there with the Canada game at the weekend against Ireland, and we were a little concerned that you might not make it back.
Yeah. Why
Right,
was
you-
that?
I wasn't concerned.
Have you ever got?
I wasn't concerned.
Have those concerns ever come true where I haven't made it?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. All right.
few
Okay.
times.
All right. Not once.
Should we talk about Atlanta, Copa America?
Once.
Was that the only one?
Yeah, it's only one.
Did you claim you had an early night in Montreal? Because you did say you were.
No, I didn't
on the
actually have an
text.
early night, but there was no partying or gallivanting after the game itself.
No.
I finished too late.
No, but before the game, you sold
The
out
night
a venue.
before, yeah.
Downtown Montreal,
Yeah, yeah.
he sold out a venue.
Exactly.
No,
People paid to go and watch him talk.
Honestly,
It
I
was
don't.
packed.
I
I
don't.
heard it was
I
packed.
honestly don't want to talk about that, but it was sold out. Yeah, and I don't want to talk about it. But no, we had a good night. We actually had a good night on Thursday. We had a good time, good bit of fun. Like loads of Irish, obviously, in that had travelled right. But the one thing I noticed as well. So, I was obviously in Montreal talking to loads of Canadians, loads of Irish at the game. So many people coming in from Vancouver, from Halifax. I was speaking to people that had flown in just for the game. I think it probably shows the spread of where Canada are right now as well. That so many, not from just the Montreal area, that had flown in. Loads from Toronto. I know Toronto's like only 4 hours, say, drive, 4 or 5 hours, but it's still amazing that you're getting this connection now with the team, that so many are coming in from far afield. And I loved it. I love speaking to so many people because, and some of them were telling me about what Canada team means to them, obviously what the Irish team means to them as well, historic stories and everything with that. So it was great. It really was, yeah.
Even coming downtown to come here to St. John's Tavern today and walking through from Union Station and seeing all the jerseys, Canada jerseys, lots of them, but probably out of the 48 teams in the World Cup, just walking up from Union, up past Nathan Phillips Square, which, by the way, the ice rink's been turned into a turf soccer pitch. There were kids' games going on. Probably saw jerseys from almost half of the 48 teams.
Great, yeah.
On the way through. There's a World Cup store in the Eaton Centre as well, and it's just this feeling that this is a World Cup city. Right? This is it now.
But it ramped up really quickly, didn't it?
Yeah.
With sort of 0 to 100 right away, but you can feel it. You've been feeling it for the last 7 or 8 days, I would say. It's really buzzing. And
Stevie,
that's what we want, isn't it?
You guided me today to BMO. I had to go and get my accreditation today.
Toronto Stadium.
Yeah, Toronto Stadium. Sorry.
Get it right.
I had to go and get my accreditation, and it was a decent enough process as it turns out. But even around exhibition, around the GO train
There's
station,
a lot of people, wasn't there?
So many. It was great.
And what about some of the
bus?
advertisements we saw?
Jonathan David and Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
It was just great. It really was, and again, you get that feeling, don't you? That feeling, and now the buzz of it all. It's it's special.
I have to give a shout out to one guy that I met who's a big fan of Park the Bus. He was in Union Station today.
It surely can't be too many fans.
He was a big
He's
fan
shouting
of
people out every single week now, isn't he?
because they're all drawn to
to
Park the Bus.
To you.
Yeah.
Hey.
What did he say, Luke? You're great. Those other two guys are absolutely horrendous.
That's exactly what he said. He said, I'm glad I've seen you because you're my favourite. You make the most sense on the podcast week after week. And I said, do you know what? You're not the first person to say that.
Yeah.
Everybody says it as well.
That ego is definitely growing, isn't it?
It's crazy because I didn't even play the game, and yet I know, I've got the best opinions.
You're the voice of the game, though, aren't you?
Anyway, the unique thing about him, he'd got the Black Canada jersey on that
you
was
love.
growing
You did
on
love,
me,
and
then I
you
went
hate,
back on it, and now I've gone back again.
Can you believe he's gone, you love it again?
Now. I do love it
It's
again
actually
now.
going backwards on me, I have to say.
But imagine
it
this.
It looked nice on Friday.
You won't believe this.
I was pitch side, no, I will come back to that one.
He was a Canadian and Indonesian citizen.
Yeah.
Fan of both. So he was talking about his love for Canada, but also now, of course, who's the head coach of Indonesia? John Herdman.
Yep.
So he's got John Herdman was the Canada coach, and now he's the Indonesia coach. He's following his Indonesian team as well, so that was crazy. Anyway, so hello to, I didn't get your name, but it was great to see you.
He might be listening.
Great to see
The man
you.
with no name.
Shout out for
That's
the
the
best
worst
person on the
shout
show.
ever.
Yeah,
The
no,
worst
you
shout
should.
ever.
I bet you never even asked him his name, did you? Did you ask him
He's
his
too
name?
big
Be
to ask
honest.
names.
Be honest.
You know,
You
I
never
was
asked
just
him.
overcome with
You are the most
with
antisocial,
excitement that I didn't-
Sometimes you've got to speak, engage with people, really, properly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Stephen, nice to meet you. When we do the FanDuel Odds Spotlight later on, we'll focus on Canada's group and see where we're at and see if things have changed. I know we talked about it a little bit in the deep dive a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But if things have changed now that we know that Moise Bombito isn't going to be there. Now, this is probably the biggest Canadian story heading in, apart from Alphonso Davies. Now, I was on a radio show a couple of weeks ago on TSN 1050, and they'd said that the day before they'd had James Duthie on, because he'll go on TSN radio. He won't come on Part the Boss.
I don't know
How many times have we asked him
We're
to
too
be on
small.
Part?
And do you know what he's doing to me now? He's kind of burning me in a really big way.
Yeah.
Kev, are you doing the show tonight? I'd love to come on. I said, yeah, James, sorry, I'm done now.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
maybe tomorrow.
We asked him last week,
if
didn't
it was
we?
tomorrow,
Yeah.
He's Billy Big
Said he
Time
was
for
too
Part the
busy.
Boss.
Yeah.
But what he did say, that when I came on, he's like, can you confirm or deny what James Duthie said the day before?
Yeah.
And the comment from James was, Moise Bombito is probably Canada's most important player to success this summer. And I said, well,
Big statement.
Alphonso Davies is one of them, but probably a close second, Stefan Eustáquio maybe in the midfield, maybe a little bit drop back, but Moise Bombito at the back
I would,
is right up there.
I would.
And now he's not there.
Look, James Duthie is really right when it comes to football, when it comes to
Oh,
soccer.
come on.
But on this one, I'd
think he's right?
I'd say he could be right on that one. It's certainly as important as Alphonso Davies. I think to the way that the team play, how, and again, we've spoken so often about does Jesse Marsh press, doesn't he press, whatever. But if Canada are playing a high line, who do you need that's going to be vital to getting back and having the ability to defend in one-on-one positions? And it's Bombito. Bombito, without a doubt.
But we saw against Uzbekistan that Bombito, I know he's nowhere near fit, as it's proved, but he couldn't cover the distances, could he? So there was a change to that tactic where the line was a lot deeper, Kevin. It's going to have to be through the whole tournament.
I mean, you know him a lot more than probably even Luke and I do, Stevie. You've actually monitored him while he's been playing, and the one thing that I've seen, I don't think there's been a Canadian player that's progressed so much in the last 2 years. And I've said it so often before, he absolutely would have been Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A. He would have been playing in one of those leagues now if it wasn't for the injury. No doubt, probably Premier League. I think that's where he would have gone. And this injury has hindered him. And I feel this potentially, I think it is a huge deal for Canada. I do think that. And no disrespect to De Fougerolles or no disrespect to Cornelius or Waterman, probably Priso, whoever it's going to be. Alfie Jones. Bombito is the best, and Bombito is at a level above all these guys, I feel, and it's a huge miss.
Okay, so we know that there is no bigger fan in Canada, or maybe around the world, than Stephen. Of Luke de Fougerolles. He is the president of the Luke de Fougerolles fan club. Even to the point where, I think that he's probably his favourite.
I know what's going through your head right now.
Probably his favourite player. I didn't say anything.
But you were thinking about it as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
That would have been a step too far.
Okay. So, he's good. He's shown that, but he's not Moise Bombito, is he?
No.
So, are we saying right now that Canada, their chances of maybe even not getting out of the group, but advancing further in the World Cup have been hit because of Moise Bombito, or do they have to just change the way they play a little bit without him? Because Luke de Fougerolles has strengths as well.
He does. He does have strengths. We'll get to them in a minute. But I think what we realised 5 minutes into that Uzbekistan game in Edmonton was that we weren't going to get the Moise Bombito that we know he can be. He was nowhere near it. So, the fact that he was tracking towards this tournament, he was unlikely going to be as fit as he needed to be, even if he made it on the field, meant that I think Canada were going to adapt in some form or another. Now they need to go completely in the other direction and have that line a little bit deeper. Not to say there's not an aggressive mindset to the play and they're stepping into things, but they cannot be covering...
As aggressive.
Cornelius and de Fougerolles cannot step into the other half, into that kind of semicircle as the centre circle as Moise Bombito would. It's too big a distance for them against some of the quality players they're going to play against. So they've got to be a little bit deeper, a little bit more of a measured press. And I think de Fougerolles can be very successful at this World Cup, but the expectations on his shoulders should not be to lead the team like Moise Bombito was expected to do.
Okay, so if Moise Bombito was expected to lead the team, the dominant central defender alongside Derek Cornelius in terms of leading the back line. Does Derek Cornelius now have to do that, or is Luke de Fougerolles going to have to do that?
Derek Cornelius cannot be that dominant centre-back. Derek Cornelius is a player that, when he's at his best and he concentrates on his own game, he can be good. But I don't think putting that pressure on him to expect him to kind of lead
Yeah,
that
yeah.
whole back line will be beneficial for
I
Canada.
don't think it's too bad.
I think the Fougerolles can do it to a certain extent.
I think, yeah, look, I'm going to go about Luke de Fougerolles in a second, and I know we know what Stevie thinks about him. I don't think it's too bad a thing that you have got Richie Larea and Alistair Johnson on either side of that defence. You know, if I was a more experienced player, when I dropped a little bit deeper, when I was playing as a left back, I could guide centre half through games, and I could help out in any way, just in terms of talking, positional sense, where the guy is around them. I would have been okay at doing that, and I think Alistair Johnson and Richie Larea are the same. So I think they've got experience in that back four. So that to me, from what you're saying there, absolutely you want one dominant centre half that's going to be able to control it, but those two can help out in that side. So I don't think it's a problem. But just on de Fougerolles, just Stevie, just quickly, and watching him on Friday night up close, I was right down at the pitch side. It's the first game I've watched pitch side right on pitch level for a long time, actually. And the pace of the game obviously is a standout thing when you're watching it. But de Fougerolles was, maybe outside Ismail Kone in his first half performance, was probably the most impressive player. In his decision making, everything he did, listening to his voice. That's a big thing that I probably never would have realised.
Was he loud?
Enough, yeah. And again, it's only 20, so he's still a player that's improving in that aspect as well.
The other thing is as well, maybe that plays more into Jesse Marsh's decision with Maxime Crépeau, because that's also more of a strength of Maxime Crépeau to organise that back line and be the voice,
better leader as well
than Dane Sinclair.
You could hear, I've got to say, you could hear Crépeau for long spells in that match as well, which was another thing that stood out to me. But look, I have got no judge. If we're judging about the dominant centre half, and you're asking that question there. Canada's best centre half in the last two games has been Luke de Fougerolles. Outstanding. And I mean, everything he does, you come away from the game, and I was talking to a friend of mine when he caught the train back over with me, and I said, what did you think of Luke de Fougerolles? And he went, oh yeah, he did okay. Didn't really notice him. And he watched the game back today. He stayed over with me and watched the game back, and on the way he went, I watched de Fougerolles, he said, and I wasn't really watching. He said, I was watching it from an Irish perspective, what Troy Parrott was doing, and I'm watching it, Troy, you could have done better there. The reason why Troy Parrott, who's Ireland's top striker, who's going to play for one of the top clubs in Europe next season.
Which one?
Didn't play well. I think he may go to Italy or Germany, but we'll talk about that later.
In the broadcast, didn't we?
Yeah, I know, but Kev's been to Montreal and talked to all his Irish mates. Yeah. He now knows.
You think he would have some inside info
You would think he would, yeah.
I've got inside information.
Come on, then.
Well, tell us in.
I told you he's going to Spain, or sorry, he's going to Germany.
Pretty
or
big
Germany,
countries.
Spain, Italy or England.
He's going to, potential England, don't worry about that. One close to my heart, but we'll see.
Preston. He's not going to Preston.
Get out of town. No, but what I was saying is, he was watching it from Parrott's perspective. He's not really... The reason why Troy Parrott didn't play well was Luke de Fougerolles. Yeah. And he's playing against a top striker. And he just put him out of the game. And every time you watch Luke de Fougerolles, you'll come away from the game thinking, what's he done today?
Just sound, isn't he?
He doesn't do anything wrong. So the way I would look at it is, like, everyone always looks for somebody to be Lionel Messi, and no one's going to be that. So what is he doing wrong every game? Every single game is a 7, 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
To me, that is the guy you want. You want him playing every and he's only 20.
That's what I was going to say. It's crazy to have that level of consistency.
Unbelievable.
He's only played a limited number of games as well. He's got no experience of playing at a high level, but he makes sound decisions. He's positive in everything he does. I keep saying that word with him because he steps into things. Even when he knows he might be lacking in certain parts of his game at this point, he doesn't let that inhibit him to make the decisions and to do the right thing for the team.
I'm not saying that because I love Stevie, and I know that he loves Luke, but honestly, I was so impressed, and I've been so impressed with him for such a long time. Sometimes it's baffling. Honestly, it is baffling because it does defy every single logic that you'll think about the game for what he's doing right now.
Every time he's asked a question, he finds another level. Yeah. And this is what I'm so hopeful for
You've
Friday.
consistently said that, haven't
you? He's been questioned through his whole career. He's been asked, is he capable of playing for a Premier League team? They took him on pre-season. They gave him a game. They were so surprised with how well he played that he got a new contract. And then when they gave him his debut in the League Cup, I watched that game when I was scouting him for Ipswich. Yeah. And he was playing against a striker. It was like 6'5", championship striker, forget his name. And he just dealt with him, Kev. Nice and tight when he had to be, dropped off. Great decision maker. He's always in the right position. I think he's going to find another level again for the World Cup. And I don't think we should put too much pressure on the lad to be...
But you are.
But I am.
Yeah.
But Canada's hopes are pinned on it.
They really are. They really are.
On a 20-year-old kid at the back.
But he can handle it. Yeah. I'm telling you, he can mentally handle it. Whether he can play at his best because he doesn't have the experience, I don't know, but he can mentally handle it.
You were in the stadium, but the pictures on Friday night of Maxime Crépeau and when the anthem with the tear coming down his face and just what it meant to him. And then there was a video I saw afterwards of him climbing into the crowd and going and hugging his dad and all that kind of thing.
Gave him his shot and stuff.
Right, for a player who would have been in the World Cup squad in Qatar, and we don't need to talk a lot about Crépeau or St. Clair, we've done a lot of that over the course of the last 12 months, but for the decision to be there and to see what it means for him, like it was just a great moment.
It was a great moment, and it was a moment that he revelled in, that you saw for the first time the man relax and just let all that pressure go, and it showed in his performance, Kev. He had the emotional capacity to let it out in the anthem, which I think tells you you're confident and you can be relaxed. And then with his saves in the game, the save he made from, was it Parrott?
Melia.
And the boy that came on.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
It was, and I actually didn't see Crépeau during the anthem. The anthem itself, both anthems to me, obviously now they're going to resonate. And I have to say that because the game itself to me was a special match. It really was.
Kilbane derby.
Yeah, a little bit like that. It did feel like...
Did you have a tear in your eye when the anthems were on?
He had one in both eyes.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, you can slag me all you want now. Honestly,
oh, come on.
No, it was actually emotional.
He does get emotional.
I get a bit like
he
that.
Wears his heart on his sleeve, this lad.
Lads, well,
when Messi won the World Cup, he was crying in Qatar. Remember?
You've got to talk about that. God, I remember going back into studio after that final, but again, that's for another day. But honestly, when the anthem was played, the Irish anthem got me going. I have to say that, and then. When the Canadian anthem was played straight after, I hadn't even seen Crépeau, genuinely unaware of it. And who was the singer? You probably tell me who was singing the anthem. You probably had it written down in your notes.
No.
Amazing job. You know when she brought the crowd in for the last. But it started in French, but then the end of it obviously was sung in English. And she finished off with the crowd. Honest to God, it was really emotional, really emotional listening to it. And you were obviously listening, and you came off the back, and you were seeing those pictures. So. It was really special, guys. It was actually quite a special send-off, the game itself. It was an emotional night. Look, you're playing a home World Cup.
They should have won, though, shouldn't they, Kev?
Well, first off, did they do enough to score a goal in the final third, Luke? That's where you're going to question it now. We are going to question this.
You're worried about that?
They got in the positions, though, again, Kev.
Well, some of the football, it was the best he played, I think, in a year.
Because it was nowhere near Ireland's strongest team.
Well, they're strong enough. They had three.
It was strong enough.
Yeah, I mean, look, they had three Premier League centre-halves, the way you would look at it. They had a potential Premier League centre-forward. Maybe throughout they didn't have enough. And yes, and there was 4 or 5 players at least missing for Ireland starting 11. But they still had a strong enough side coming into the game. And seeing Colney play the way he played in that first half, watching him up close as well.
So powerful.
Oh, lads, I've got to say, if you've got a genuine potential superstar of this World Cup. And I know we've said that so often, but that highlighted to me, watching him close up, seeing his touch, the way that he manipulated the ball away from Irish boys couldn't get near him. They actually stood off him for a long period, Steve, because they didn't want to go and get close.
I still think he's not dominating the game like he should.
So you think he should be scoring more?
No, I just think he should be like controlling the game. When he does his little flashes, they are world class. They're unbelievable. You can see him kind of doing that at the highest levels of the game. But it's like one every
second half,
5-10 minutes. So you've got to do it more.
Well, Jesse Marsh was after the game that he had to dig into him at half-time in Edmonton. Saying that he wasn't happy at all with Colney.
I didn't think he was anywhere near it in Edmonton.
I thought in Edmonton actually played well. I did. But I thought that you're right in saying it's not long more. Well, the first half, 45 minutes was excellent. It really was. Second half,
Eustachio was better as well, Kev.
He
was better for his game in Edmonton.
Does Eustachio enable
He looked
Colney
rusty in Edmonton.
Do you think it's Eustachio that's enabling Colney to do it? That's a really key part of it?
I think that's the hopes, because you want to free up Colney. You want to give him, I know we've talked loads about his discipline and his defending, but it's kind of there, but you still want to free him up to go and join the attack and to be part of the forward play, and so Eustachio can just back him up.
I think he should score more, the way I'd see it, the type of player he is, maybe in a Canadian jersey, and he should be the guy that's having that assist, the key assist in the move, and that's the way that he needs to improve on. He needs to go on to the next level. But I thought it was great to watch. Seeing Liam Miller, he actually struck Seamus Coleman, who was an established Premier League player, struggled against Liam
Yeah.
Miller. He couldn't cope with
1v1,
Miller's
he was-
pace, and
yeah.
he's
But
just
ultimately,
end
nothing,
product.
nothing
End
came.
no, and
from
that's
it.
what I would think about
He had the
it.
3 shots, Luke. We talked about it in the broadcast, and every one of them was nowhere near the target. You know, and
But
that's where he needs to
I
be
think
better.
Canada had, I think it was 14 crosses in the first half of the game.
Was it 1 or 2 connected?
I don't think any of them connected. Maybe
Right.
1 connected, Stevie,
Yeah.
or something like that, or very low, maybe 1 or 2. This is where I'm looking at it. So often the ball's going into wide areas, and I saw Kyle Larin. Look at Kyle Larin. He obviously didn't get the chance. He had 1 chance. It was a good save from Travers in goal for Ireland, but so often he was getting frustrated because the ball's getting into wide areas, and there was no real thought to open your feet out, 1-touch cross.
What are you
And
saying about Buchanan?
I think Buchanan has got to learn it. I think he really does. Too many touches. Far too frustrating for a centre forward when you get in positions. You made the run. You're on the. You know, if you're obviously going to be on the back line, you're going to be offside. But Larin was timing his runs really well, expecting an early cross, and it didn't come. Larin was frustrated, and I had a little bit of sympathy for Kyle Larin.
Yeah.
Again, sometimes when you're watching it at home, and again we've come off the game, Kyle Larin's not scored. But I'm telling you, 3 or 4 times he's in a great position, and it has to be the first thought in a wide area cross for him. And I like being at the game for that reason, that I saw that more, you know?
Yeah.
How much is that going to impact the game on Friday? Wide areas, crosses in, because
I think it's something they could learn, Steve, you know?
I do. I think they should be working on that in training this week, because I think it's an area of Bosnia that can be exploited.
Right.
I don't think they're particularly solid in that
because
back
at the
line.
other end, that's an issue also.
Yeah,
like
too
Bosnia
many
are going to
crosses
be
coming
putting
in.
crosses in.
So
Yeah.
this week, if you're thinking about training, Kev, you're working on stopping crosses, because you don't want to give them 14, 15, 20 crosses.
And that's their strength, Stevie.
That's
we
their
know
strength.
that, yeah.
So you got to stop crosses, but you got to work on getting the ball wide and getting early balls into Larin. He needs that service. He got a few more touches in Montreal than he did in Edmonton, but he's craving he needs touches to feel like he's in the game, so his confidence can grow. And then he gets his opportunity and he put it away. That's how it went in the second part of the season.
And I would
with
say as
Southampton.
well, just in relation to Buchanan, Kolasinac is a player that goes to ground. If he starts, if it is Kolasinac that starts
Looks
the game,
like he might
Arsenal,
start.
I think he's going to start.
Last game, yeah.
Kolasinac goes to ground very quickly. In a one-on-one position, he likes to win the ball early. He commits. I think Buchanan can. I think he's got to recognise that. That's got to be a message.
Yeah.
He goes down quickly.
Yeah.
So if you can get the ball beyond him, as a wide man, I used to know if my guy went to ground. The only thing he needs to think about, it's not even a step over a trick.
No, just put it in.
Get the ball beyond him and cross. That's all he needs to do.
I could see him getting in behind Kolasinac a few times.
Yeah.
And then it's that early ball across. Not waste the time, let him get back, put it into the area, and then it's up to Larin and David, if they're the two, to be in the. David's got to get in the box more as well. He's always hanging out at that penalty yard spot.
But you know what, Stevie? Honest to God, I noticed it a couple of times. He's getting frustrated. And again, it was the first real chance, I thought. He is almost not expecting the ball to go in. So he's got a tendency now to go out and want link-up play rather than actually go and make the run. And that was the first time it really highlighted to me that David could be a bit frustrated as well. That I said Larin, but David is sitting a little bit too deep because he's expecting a pullback rather than a ball played in behind. So I think there are real areas that Canada can look at this week and they can exploit.
You talked about it being a great send-off in Montreal. I don't know if you saw the pictures from St. Louis. Bosnia, there's a huge Bosnian population in and around St. Louis, and that stadium was full of blue Bosnian jerseys as they tied 1-1 with Panama. Great atmosphere, but they got a lot of support behind them. Where do you think they are coming in here in terms of their ability to cook? There's some question marks about Dzeko maybe, and his fitness, which would be a huge loss.
It would be.
But what's if they're going to? If Canada aren't going to win this game, what is it Bosnia will do to stop them, or Bosnia do to win it?
What Bosnia will do to be effective is they will go along, they'll pick up second balls, they'll put lots of crosses in the box. They'll test Canada time after time, and then what will happen is if they've got too much of the ball, Canada will break, because these guys are Demirovic, Dzeko, all these guys, you know,
Bayraktarovic,
the white guys. There's so many players on that side that are effective when it's a direct game and when they test defences. So Canada have to stop that. Stopping that is keeping possession, making sure you get them back, you have them defending, not allowing them to kind of dictate play and have too much time in possession. So I don't know if Bosnia come in as confident as they were in March when they beat Wales in Italy in the playoffs. I think they're a little more vulnerable than they were then, Kev, and I do think Canada's got a real great chance at setting the stall early in this game. I don't want to see Canada be tentative. I think if Canada start quite slow and allow both sides to figure this game out, it might be the experience of Bosnia and their 4 or 5 main guys that get the upper hand there, and that'll be bad signs.
Yeah.
Are you confident in what we'll see from Canada, or do you still not quite know? We've seen so many, like the first half of Edmonton wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Second half was much better, but probably not with the lineup that will start the game on.
The only thing I'll say with that, Luke, is Bosnia will play like Ireland played in the second half, and Canada struggled a little bit with long diagonal balls and the physicality that Ireland maybe brought in the second half, the experience. We know Bosnia's got a lot of experience in their side. So I think it's something that Canada can learn a lot from that Ireland match. I think it's actually turned out to be a more beneficial game than I thought it was going to be, with Ireland not going to the World Cup thinking Ireland might take it easy a little bit.
I agree, Kev.
Canada might. I think it's actually more beneficial now, that game, than I actually maybe give it credit for. But Stevie and I were walking through the streets of Toronto today, and we were outside Bosnia's team hotel, actually, as we were going through the city. And there's a real buzz around the team, Stevie. I have to say that. And they'll get a lot of support here in Toronto. So I look at Bosnia and say, look, they will be aggressive as well, Stevie. I think the back 4 at times, or back 5 as it comes at times, are too aggressive. I think it's an area, again, that Canada can exploit. Yeah. So there are a number of things I feel that are in Canada's favour if they can learn from what happened maybe in the second half against Ireland in Montreal.
Do you want to let everybody know where Bosnia is staying so they can go down to fireworks and pull the fire alarm? And, no, you better not.
It felt big though, Kev, didn't it?
Yeah.
Seeing
was it all blocked off?
The whole street's blocked off. There's police everywhere. The bus is sitting there outside the entrance. It felt big, didn't it?
It's a bit. Imagine, I was just thinking. Imagine if it was in El Salvador, in one of the one of the Central America countries. I've heard about Canada's times they've been there. If it was in Turkey or someone like that, there'd be fireworks going off every night, all night. So
So how confident are you, Mr. Race for the roster, that the starting 11 will be Crépeau, Johnston, de Fougerolles, Cornelius, and Larea?
Confident.
Kone Eustachio, Buchanan on the right, Miller on the left, Larin and David up top. You can't still think Alphonso Davies is starting this game. There is no way on the planet. And he's not starting left wing.
Why?
Oh.
Why? You keep telling me that he's not starting and you don't give me a reason.
Wait for Race for the roster.
He's not. He can't keep him in there.
That is the team. I guarantee you now that's the team.
Yeah?
I'll stick my neck out.
Davies off the bench?
I'll stick my neck out. No, I don't think Davies is going to play any part in this game.
He might.
I don't think
he might be on the bench.
He'll be on the bench.
He'll be on the bench.
Of course, he can be on the bench, but he won't come on.
No.
I think there's potential for Qatar, give him more recovery time.
Do you think Jesse Marsh now also maybe regrets throwing Moise Bombito in the rain in Edmonton, and maybe should have given him a few more days, and that comes into his thinking with Davies also?
Yeah, probably. I just feel like Alphonso Davies' influence is going to have a big say, that if he really wants to be out there and push himself, then I don't think Jesse Marsh will be able to stop him.
Running at,
Can you imagine
10% of his capability. You got excited over him doing a few quick feet and things like that.
If Davies starts, which isn't going to happen,
this guy's running at half pace.
This guy's going to
He
think.
wasn't running at half pace.
He's running at your half pace.
Yeah, maybe my half pace.
My
but
full
not
pace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No way.
No.
There's still a chance. I'm telling you.
Listen, if you're refusing to take him out, then I think that you should do Race for the roster. The final
I'll happily give him Race for the roster.
Final
do you want it?
No, let him do it. No, let him. This is Stevie's show. This is his moment in the sun.
There are people that are actually taking notice of this, though.
Yeah, I know there is. That's why I'm trying to defend him to everyone walking at the moment.
So it's Miller on the left wing,
Highly
isn't it?
likely that's the team. Highly likely.
And although, as we record this in St. John's Tavern in downtown Toronto on the Sunday, we haven't had final confirmation yet from Canada. We would expect, with the Flores spot to go to Nelson, the Bombito spot to go to Priso, do you expect to see them play either of those in the World Cup?
One thing I would ask is,
yes.
I would say,
yeah?
They're both going to play?
I think they'll both play
not on opening day, but during the World Cup. They're not just
minutes.
players 25 and 26 who'll do nothing.
I think potentially they'll play minutes in the World Cup.
Can I just say one thing as well on Jacob Schaffelberg? And I know this is Jacob Schaffelberg probably won't start, but I saw him as well over in Montreal, again tracking the same sort of running as Alphonso Davies.
Can I ask you a question? Does Davies look further forward than Schaffelberg? Mentally and physically?
Yes, actually. Yeah, I do think that actually. Yeah, watching them both doing the things. Alphonso Davies.
Schaffelberg's supposed to come back to training on Monday.
Yeah. Alphonso Davies.
With Ali Ahmed coming back as well, but not in time to start.
Well, if Schaffelberg's back training Monday, then maybe there is a chance for Alphonso Davies to be involved in on Friday.
Oh,
but no.
So you're changing your mind?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not going to go that. But I think Schaffelberg has to be a big worry for them as well. And again, that gets you thinking, who else?
Replacement.
Well, possibly. I don't know. I mean,
Who do you think they'd bring in?
I think it's a big. Surely not Junior Hoylett.
We'll chat about in the train. We'll
Stevie,
chat about
It's the only way they can go.
Stevie has been trying to get Junior Hoylett in for weeks,
Yeah.
and then on the eve of the
I've
World
had them in,
Cup,
I've had them out, I've had them in.
I hope he's
coming
not
back.
sat on a beach. He's on the
Paul
beach
won't
at the
be on
moment,
the beach. He'll be
drinking
training.
cocktails.
poor old
Junior will be
Junior,
training.
the 4 hours he spent in Stevie's squad last Friday night
Yeah.
before
Yeah,
he, like,
that was
what day
harsh.
was that? Was the
I feel really
that
bad
was the
about
night of
that.
the Uzbekistan
I
game.
caught him in 4 hours.
Put him in the
Yeah.
Sports Centre pre-game,
Yeah.
took him out in the Sports Centre
To
post-game.
be honest with you, I don't think Junior Hoylett.
That was
Just
a
'cause
low
of- just
moment.
'cause of
That
Jaden
was a
Nelson.
low moment
A low
for me,
moment
that.
for
And
you.
there've been a lot of
Yeah.
low moments.
I
in
know
this
you've
There's
for
been a
us.
lot.
You've
a
got a
lot.
lot of
Over
respect
12
for Junior
months.
Hoylett. I
I
know
like
that.
Junior
So
a
that
lot.
would have hurt you.
He's
Yeah.
probably on dinner with his missus, and the time he came back, he was in and out the whole Poor guy.
Time now for the FanDuel Odds Spotlight, and over the course of the last few weeks, we've talked about every other group apart from Canada. So, in very professional fashion, I managed to find a crayon and wrote the odds on a
Yeah,
napkin.
there you go. Where'd you get the crayon
So-
from?
My wife's bag. They're actually, shout out to her and the kids who are down here today. Canada minus 125 to win the opener, plus 250 to draw the opener. Are you taking that?
I'd put a bet on the draw. I think that's 0-0 draw is
Oh,
a
come
very
on.
popular. I'm telling you.
We've waited since 2018 for Canada to host a World Cup
Honestly, this boy-
game,
this boy at
and you're
times-
going for a
I'm
0-0
asked
draw.
to give my opinion, and
This
I'm
boy
just
at
saying
times.
what my
Hey,
This
opinion
boy
is.
at times, honestly.
My goodness.
Honestly. If ever there was a,
What are you saying, 3-3 or
I
4-3
love,
Canada?
I love
The
a guy.
emotion of it.
I
The
love a
World
guy-
Cup
exactly.
comes here.
World
They're all
Cup.
out at home, and we're going to have a
So what are you
0-0
saying?
draw.
It's coming home. It's coming
Come
home
on,
here
Mr.
for you,
Analyst.
you know.
I want you to say your prediction then.
No, can I just? I don't want to comment on your prediction here. That's all I want to comment on.
0-0 draw.
Your comment at times when I see it, it's like, you know, I think you give this big grand introduction. And then you sit on the fence totally because you don't
How
want
am
to
I
upset
sitting on the
anybody.
fence?
You don't
Nil,
want to upset
nil.
anyone.
It's an opinion.
You never want to upset anybody. Just come
Have
on.
better opinions.
Be ballsy sometimes. You
3-0
know.
Canada.
Yeah,
Hey!
you go.
Davis hat-trick.
Changed his mind almost as quickly as Junior Hoylett in the squad. Hey? Group B winner.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
you
say-
want to go on? You
no,
have a
I'm
go on
gonna say
that.
I think Canada win.
Yeah.
I honestly watched Bosnia a lot, like we have to, obviously, and I think that the games that I'm judging them on is a side of that Italy match. I think it's more of a judgment against Wales and other games that maybe come after that. I think Canada win it. I don't think it's going to be a lot of goals. I think there'll be
One goal?
a low-scoring game. I think Canada win 1-0. What I would say, I don't think Canada lose that game, and that is where I stand on it. Yeah.
I think
And
it might
that'll
be
be
a 1-1.
massive.
Could be a
for-
1-1
Yeah,
draw.
it's not a bad shout. That'll be massive for Canada to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
something from that game.
Yeah.
I know we really want them to win, but
So here's the
getting something
problem.
would be
You
huge.
boys are two Canadians now as well. You're both citizens.
Exactly.
You've got to start. Come on, you've got to start ramping it up a little bit.
All
I
right,
feel.
okay.
Here's the problem with the draw in that opener. Then it becomes basically for second spot if both lose to Switzerland, or it comes down to that
Yeah.
last game. Canada needs something against Switzerland because it could come down to how many you beat Qatar by, right? For second spot in the group. If
but
you
even
both
at
get
that,
1 point in the first.
I don't think Canada are going to score 3 and 4 against.
Which
against
is the
Qatar.
problem.
Yeah, I think
Right,
that's
if Bosnia
really
could.
optimistic. Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
And then you're
optimistic.
talking about third place if you can't get something against Switzerland.
I think Canada minimum
But-
have
but
4 points. After
I think
Qatar.
the way the games come with Canada playing Qatar second, I do think it's beneficial because if they go and lose to Switzerland, then you might get a draw with Switzerland in the third game where you
Yeah.
can sit in a bit and defend.
And also, Stevie, look, I think you've just got to hope. Look, worst case scenario, say Canada lose against Bosnia. We all expect Switzerland to beat Qatar. That is Qatar's big chance to stay in the World Cup, I feel.
Right.
Let's keep it tight against Switzerland.
Uh-huh.
Let's get through this game.
Try and get a
that,
point.
That they might feel
Yeah.
as though they can have. I think it'll be demoralising for them, and that's where I think it is in Canada's favour. That even if they were, worst case scenario, as I said, to lose against Bosnia, I'll think they beat Qatar no matter what happens in
Right.
the first game. That's the way I see it, yeah.
Switzerland minus 135 to win the group. I think we'd all agree that they're the
Favourites.
first favourites. Canada, actually, I could tell you, but we spilt water on the napkin, and that's where the problem with the crayon comes. But they're
You
second.
didn't think that one through,
They're
did you?
second favourites, and then you've got Bosnia plus 470. Oh, Canada plus 170.
Yeah.
Bosnia plus 470, and Qatar at plus 3,500.
Oof, I wouldn't be
I mean, no,
touching
you wouldn't.
Qatar.
You wouldn't touch Qatar,
No.
right?
No. And look, I'm not. I'm
Bosnia
not
could
rule
finish
out,
second.
I'm not. Yeah,
They're not gonna
exactly.
win the group.
I'm not ruling out Bosnia to qualify, even if they qualified third. I think this might be a group where there's going to be 3 teams that go through, whether it's Canada, Bosnia, or Switzerland, whoever. I think 3 teams will get out from this group. So I think Canada are a good shout there. Honestly, do. I don't think
to win the group.
Yeah, I do, because the
win the group.
reason why I look at it, I think no, and it's not being like, listen to this one, right? I think Switzerland will 100% have 6 points going into that last game. 100% have 6 points. I think they win 2 games. So I think then you go into that last game, as I said, I think Canada will have 4 points going into that last game. Canada in Vancouver with a chance to top the group and stay in Vancouver for a knockout stage game. I think Switzerland changed the team around. It makes no odds to Switzerland.
You still think Canada can get 7 points in this group?
Yeah, I do think so.
Having never got a World Cup point.
I do.
They're going to get 7.
I'm just looking at it.
Because when we did this deep dive a few weeks ago, you had Switzerland on top.
Look, I'm trying to look at this objectively to have different scenarios.
Getting carried away with World Cup fever, isn't he?
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm getting carried away. But I think Canada have 4 points getting out, and that means Switzerland will be on 6. Like I said, I think Switzerland have 6 points.
Don't they want to win the group as well?
Yeah, that's true. But I think Switzerland make changes, because Switzerland, if they finish second, it means less to Switzerland to finish second than it does to Canada. Canada, if they stay in Vancouver, that's a huge incentive in that last game.
It's so hard to try and work out what's going to happen with the knockout games, with the different permutations. But do you think that there's a scenario where Switzerland might want to finish second because they look at the matchup and maybe, because it means nothing to Switzerland playing in Vancouver.
Yeah, that's what I'm
they
saying.
probably look at the team that they might face, but it means a lot to
now
Canada.
You're getting on
it's
my level.
impossible. It's impossible.
You're thinking like me, Stevie.
But by the time that,
that,
no, we can't go through it now. But in the days before that Switzerland game, if Kev's pie in the sky scenario comes through, then they might look at it and say, yeah, we won't make changes because it's not so important to us if we win that
I'm
game.
not saying that is going to happen, but I think that's
a possibility.
I think that is. I think there's a chance of that Canada play against a weakened Switzerland side in that last game and beat them. That's all I would say.
I like it.
That's the FanDuel Odds Spotlight, and let's finish the episode with your thoughts on any of the other teams that you've seen over the course of the last few days. Lots of friendlies all over the world. Who's looked good to you?
Norway are 1 at the moment. I'm kind of looking at.
We're not talking about the picture of them in all their Viking costumes.
That was great. That was great, actually.
They did look good.
Great. There's been, I've got to say,
I was just thinking about, surely Scotland could have done one of those like Braveheart pictures before they got to the...
Probably missed
put some face paint on for the first
They've missed a
game.
trick, Scotland, in so many different ways around this.
You know why? Because we're all business.
Look, I would say Scotland.
You know why?
Scotland scored 7 goals in the last 2 games.
Exactly.
Right? But
brilliant as well.
They were getting annihilated against Curacao before they went down to 10 men.
But the reason Scotland aren't doing that is because they know it's not going to last very long. It's not going to be very good for them. They're going to get smacked by Brazil. Even Haiti right now. Haiti are on fire. Like
Scotland beat Bolivia 4-0, right? 4-0 by half time. Scotland, Haiti. We know Scotland, Haiti is going to be a key game for them.
We're playing 4-4-2. We're dead
4-4-2. Steve Cobb's playing 4-4-2.
I know.
Hey.
I'll tell you what. I think we might win 3 games.
How many times have we sat there? 5-4-1, 5-5. That's how Scotland
beat Brazil.
Oh, with a 4-4-2? No, they won't play 4-4-2 against Brazil. Let me tell you that.
Are you asking because you actually think they could beat Brazil?
Yeah. Why not? Can they beat Brazil?
Will they beat Brazil? Is what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking you. Yeah.
No, they won't. No, they can't.
Haiti and Morocco are the big games for us. We'll be fine.
Right.
Beat Haiti. I think we'll beat Morocco.
I always say no. I would say I saw Norway. Morocco have drawn 1 apiece in the game as well. I like Norway, but Morocco are not bad.
Yeah,
Morocco are good, lads, and I think they're going to be strong as well. There's going to. I think Scotland. Some of the African sides are. I think the African sides.
Algeria. I watched Algeria, Netherlands. Algeria were amazing.
Yeah. Algeria, and also we've got Senegal that we're going to look at.
Algeria have this little striker, white guy called Amoura. He plays for Wolfsburg, and he tracks back like nobody I've seen, but he tracks back, he wins the ball, and then he ends up the other end 6 seconds later to get on the end of the chance. He's tiny, he can jump, he'll score ahead on this tournament, mark my words, he is special. They've got another guy, they're a good side, they've got a lot of technical players.
So who are you going for out of the ones you said?
You watched the US as well, first half against Germany. They were pretty good.
What about the goal in that
game?
Great
goal from Anthony
Great
Robinson.
call as well.
It was okay.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was
I know the commentator. He was pretty.
Were you doing that game? Were you?
Yeah.
Were you?
Thanks for watching, Kev.
Call.
Thanks for watching.
I wasn't watching.
You know what? It was incredible.
I did know you were calling the game.
It was an incredible atmosphere, actually. 63,000 in Soldier Field. They did it really well with all the flags and stuff. They introduced the 1994 World Cup players.
At the start,
you think I know the rapper's name?
Yeah.
I want to say Chance the Rapper, if that's even a thing. Is that a thing?
Good chance it was him.
Was it Vanilla Ice?
Good chance.
Vanilla Ice is a big rapper, and he Snoop Dogg, something like that.
No, it wasn't Drake. Hold on, let me ask my 15-year-old. Is there a rapper called Chance? Oh, okay, we're good. Okay,
Here we are.
Chance the rapper was on the stage, getting on the pitch, getting the crowd going. Right.
That wouldn't excite me. I've never heard of Chance the Rapper.
No, I know.
He's calling the players out.
It would have been better if it was Lionel Richie or someone good. But it was Chance.
He's not a rapper though.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, but they played quite well.
US look really physical, Luke.
Yeah,
That's what
it was it.
Germany
Germany
haven't been
started well.
physical.
No, I know.
They've kicked on.
They started well, Germany. Havertz scored, who's on fire, by the way. He is on form at the right time. I think he could have a good tournament. Anyway, Germany were looking like they were going to run away with it, and then the US started to run and get people moving. And they looked really impressive, Kev, when they use their legs, use that physicality.
There was even a bit of a scrap near the end.
Yeah.
There was a scrap near the end and yellow cards. It was a really aggressive game.
And I'm going to take you to another host nation who I've liked watching recently, Mexico.
Oh,
I tell you.
I've been telling you about Mexico.
I know,
for
there's
years.
Stevie's boys, Mexico.
Okay.
I tell you, Mexico.
We finish this with you each saying now then which host nation is going to go the furthest in the tournament. I don't want to know why. I just want you to say which one.
To say one word for us, that's difficult.
Canada. Mexico.
Canada.
Okay.
Who do you think?
I don't need
USA.
No, it'd be Canada. It'd be Canada.
Right. There you go. Well done.
Yeah,
well
why
done.
not? We will have a special Park the Bus back here in St. John's Tavern on Wednesday, presented by FanDuel, when actually what we're going to do, because it's just going to be the eve of the World Cup and we're going to be getting ready for that Mexico-South Africa game, which kicks it all off on Thursday, is talk about some World Cup memories. We'll go back through some World Cups of the past, maybe one that you played in. We might talk about that.
I don't know. I've not spoken before.
And just generally get excited on the eve of the World Cup for that one. So make sure you check out the next edition of Park the Bus, presented by FanDuel, coming your way on Wednesday. For now, though, thanks for watching.
Thank you.